Before the spotlight, before the sold-out arenas and Grammy Awards, Lionel Richie was a boy in Tuskegee, Alabama, with a heart full of music. Growing up in a close-knit community infused with gospel, jazz, and soul, Lionel quickly learned that music was more than entertainment. It was a language of truth. At Tuskegee Institute, he found both musical and spiritual inspiration. There, he met the fellow musicians who would become the Commodores, a band destined to shape a generation. Young Lionel's dreams were audacious, yet deeply rooted in the rhythms and stories of his hometown. The rise of the Commodores. In the early 1970s, the Commodores emerged as one of the era's most influential bands. Their music blended funk, soul, and heartfelt ballads, creating a sound that resonated with millions. Lionel's songwriting began to shine through hits like Easy, 3 Times a Lady, and Still. It wasn't just his voice, it was his ability to infuse every lyric with emotion, telling stories that felt universal. Fans connected not just to melodies, but to the truth behind them. Yet behind the scenes, Lionel wrestled with doubt and perfectionism, a private struggle few could see amid the rising fame. A quiet struggle amid success. While the Commodores enjoyed success, Lionel faced an internal conflict. The group wanted energetic funk and dance hits, while Lionel's heart leaned toward melodic, emotional ballads. His quieter songs were loved by fans but caused tension within the band. By the early 1980s, Lionel made a courageous and painful decision. He left the group that had launched his career. It was a leap into uncertainty, a risk that could have ended everything. Instead, it marked the beginning of his defining chapter, a solo career that would transform him into an international icon, capable of touching hearts across generations. The solo explosion, Lionel Richie's solo career, was meteoric. Songs like Truly You Are and All Night Long became cultural touchstones, heard at weddings, graduations, and global celebrations. His music transcended language and geography, becoming a universal voice of love and joy. Then came Hello, a haunting, intimate ballad that stopped the world in its tracks. Lionel's lyrics spoke directly to the human heart, conveying love, longing, and vulnerability. He became more than a singer, he was a storyteller whose voice could make people laugh, cry, and remember. In the mid-1980s, Lionel reached a level of fame that few artists could imagine: fame, awards, and humanitarian efforts. By the mid-1980s, Lionel Richie's success seemed untouchable. Grammys, platinum records, and sold-out tours cemented his status as a music legend. His collaboration with Michael Jackson on We Are the World further expanded his influence, proving he was not just a musician, but a humanitarian voice for a generation. Despite this, Lionel fought a private battle that few witnessed. The same perfectionism that propelled his career also fueled anxiety and exhaustion. While the world saw charm, laughter, and effortless brilliance, Lionel privately wrestled with the demands of fame and the weight of expectation from fans, industry, and himself. The cost of the golden smile. The man behind the golden smile faced isolation and exhaustion. Though adored worldwide, Lionel often felt alone. He described the paradox poignantly. You can sing to millions and still feel completely alone. The endless performances, interviews, and appearances became masks he could not remove. Fans admired the warmth and brilliance, unaware of the personal toll. By the late 1980s, Lionel's life was a whirlwind of awards, royal performances, and global tours. Yet behind the success, the joy he once found in music began to fade. The very career that had defined him now carried a weight he had never anticipated. The silence that changed everything. In 1990, Lionel Richie faced a turning point. Years of relentless touring and performing had damaged his vocal cords, threatening the golden tone that defined his career. Doctors demanded complete rest, warning that continued strain could permanently end his ability to sing. For Lionel, whose identity was inseparable from music, this was more than a health scare, it was an existential crisis. At the same time, his marriage to Brenda Harvey was ending, and tabloid scrutiny magnified every private struggle. Alone and voiceless, Lionel confronted one of the darkest periods of his life, questioning whether he had the strength to continue. Finding peace in life's simple moments. Today, Lionel Richie has discovered joy in simplicity, morning walks, quiet hours at the piano, laughter with friends, and family time. have replaced the chaos of relentless fame. In this calm, he has found a peace that eluded him during the peak of his career. Legacy, for Lionel, is no longer defined by charts or trophies, but by the emotional impact of his music. Hearing that a song helped someone through heartbreak is, he says, more meaningful than any award. It is this truth, timeless and universal, that has kept Lionel Richie relevant across generations. A journey of acceptance and truth. Looking back, Lionel does not see a perfect life. He sees a journey filled with heartbreak, detours, and moments of grace. The trials he faced, vocal injury, personal loss, and public scrutiny, shaped him more than fame ever could. He has learned to embrace imperfection, forgive the pain, and cherish the lessons that silence taught him. The truth he now shares is not about scandal or fame, but about acceptance, understanding that even the brightest stars must sometimes step back to find their own light. At 76, Lionel is living fully in the present, grateful for every breath and note. The timelessness of Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie's music remains timeless because it was built on honesty, emotion, and human experience. His songs were never merely for trends or image, they were reflections of life itself. The struggles, the highs, and the lows gave his voice its authenticity. Each note, lyric, and performance carries the weight of real emotion, which is why generations continue to connect with his work. Lionel's story is not just one of fame and music, it is a testament to resilience, grace, and love. Through triumphs and trials, he reminds us that vulnerability and truth are the keys to enduring impact. A legacy beyond music. When the curtain eventually falls on Lionel Richie's career, his legacy will be defined not by awards, charts, or accolades, but by the feelings his music evokes. He has lived through life's extremes, turning pain into beauty and struggle into song. Lionel's greatest achievement may not be a hit single, but the lessons his journey imparts, that love, grace, and authenticity are worth more than perfection. In every note, fans hear not just a singer, but a man who has endured, reflected, and embraced life in its full complexity. That is the timeless magic of Lionel Richie. Living in the present. At 76, Lionel Richie exemplifies the rewards of patience, reflection, and acceptance. He no longer chases fame or applause. He cherishes the moment, the music, and the people around him. His voice, still resonant and warm, carries decades of experience and emotion. The trials of the past, broken voice, heartbreak, and personal challenges have been transformed into wisdom and peace. Lionel Richie's story is more than the rise of a legend. It is the story of a human being, learning that the most enduring harmony comes not from the stage, but from a life well lived.